That's a perfect segue to my next question, because the past 2 weeks has really brought on the importance of your vice presidential pick, especially in light of the argument of should President Biden step down or not. As we know, the RNC is next week. President Trump is expected to unveil his VP pick. Who do you think it's going to be?
Uh, I want to quote Yogi Berra, the great philosopher. It's really hard to predict, especially about the future. And eh, I think his best bet really would be Burgum, the former governor of North Dakota. And the reason for that is that I think that if Trump thinks he will win, then his biggest problem will be to get control of the government, which undermined him last time, the permanent bureaucracy. He, the reason, the logic behind picking, let's say, Marco Rubio, is that the Hispanic population is clearly in play and they could go after them. The logic of picking Tim Scott from South Carolina is that the black population, though not exactly in play, is being peeled away from Biden. But frankly, I think that the best nominee would be Burgum if he wasn't going to choose Youngkin. And Youngkin of Virginia would be an excellent choice. The thing to remember about Trump is that if he is elected, the day he takes office, he becomes a lame duck. And so he will want to pick somebody that he is very confident will continue the party along the same lines. And as vice president, he's going to want to um, he's going to want to have somebody, I think, who can do two things. He's going to want to have somebody who can help him win. I don't think any of the vice presidents really help very much. But I think he's going to want to have somebody who will control the government on his behalf. His chief of staff will be very important. Somebody like some of the people who've surrounded him in the last term.
That's a really interesting point. So, do you think that whoever his VP pick is essentially the future of the GOP?
Well, he'll be the person to beat if Trump wins. If Trump loses, the stove blows up and you have to reconstruct the kitchen. But if he wins, then his vice president will be in a very strong position. But Nikki Haley's not going to go away, and some of these other people aren't going to go away. But I suspect that it won't be. It, when he picked Pence last time, it was because Trump, was not all that well known, and he needed somebody who not only knew the Hill, because Pence had been a senator, but also somebody who was closely connected to the traditional social conservatives in the party. That's just no longer true. So Trump can pick anybody he wants. And I think that the big trade-off is between people who might appeal to certain segments of the population and bring small segments along, or somebody who would be better at managing the government. I've got to say, Burgum looks very impressive, not only because he did a good job running a state, but also because he was a self-made man who made a lot of money. So he's a very competent guy, and I don't think he'll stumble on the campaign trail.
He's come on the program a few times, actually, when he was running for
Really?
president. So maybe if he is picked, he would come back on again.